Safety Sue is in
Yes,
tonight.
She's
I'm
in.
in
Hello,
tonight.
hello, dear. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
I'm doing
good.
pretty good.
Good to see you back in a fold this week.
And I did some turning this week.
All right. What'd you spend? What'd you spend?
Well, you ready for this? Remember a few weeks ago, I said, how'd you like to see half a project because it blew in half on me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little pot. Well, I glued it back together. And here she is.
Oh, cute.
Neat.
We want to see the other side too. Oh, okay. All right.
I don't see any seams, Sue.
Me neither.
And thank heavens for that. There it is there.
Oh, I'd like that.
The
I
inside.
do.
I couldn't
Nice.
get the bottom nice and flat, but you know, I'm a newbie at this one. It's about 1/8 of an inch thick, and it's English walnut, and I used my new pointer tool to the little grooves. But I was really pleased with it. It's 3 inches tall and 2 inches wide.
That's really
Nice.
cute, Sue.
That is gorgeous, Sue.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
You could put M&Ms in there
Lovely.
for grandkids.
My sister said put snuff in it. I said no.
Oh wow, she told her age.
That's,
I know, really.
that's what my great grandmother or great granddaddy would put in it.
Yeah.
Yep.
That'll fit cannabis buds. Just saying.
Yep. You know, here it's only medical grade.
Yep, I hear you.
Y'all are terrible. You know, one of our politicians wants to dismiss the first offense on that. So, you know, it drives me crazy. Don't break the law. You don't need to worry about first offense. Just don't break the law. I'm kind of glad I'm not in the construction industry anymore. It scared me when I had drinkers at lunchtime, and I had injuries on sites from guys that came back after drinking. But today it'd be hard to figure out what a guy is doing in the porta-john if he comes out all happy, you know.
One of the business
All right.
ventures I'm a part of has got that issue with the employees. People come back from lunch high, and it's crazy. So
Yeah, I experienced one where a good young friend of mine, he was an apprentice. He was working on a roof at very steep climb. The other superintendent told him he had to put a safety belt on, so he put a safety belt on. Now he's from the peak of the roof to the ground is 60 feet. From the peak of the roof to the ground. He tied 2 100-foot safety lines together so it wouldn't hinder his moving around. He fell. The guy he was with it was stoned from lunch. And if it wasn't for the guy that was with him that threw the rope over something to get it out the way, David would hit the ground. As it was, he fell off. He came off the roof, went past the rafters, and when it was a big round window in a brick wall, and you could see his feet dangling through the window. And the guy that was stoned couldn't pull him back up or do anything with him because he couldn't comprehend what to do. But I was working inside, looked up and seeing his feet dangling in the window. So what the hell is this? You know, we had a hard time firing the guy for the weed. It just wasn't an easy thing to do. It scares the hell out of me the way people just dismiss that kind of garbage.
well, and you've got the advocates who claim it doesn't affect anything. Well, if you work with people who do that, then you know it does affect them. So it's like, you know, it's
About
crazy.
40 years ago,
Yeah.
I did something really ridiculous. I was working at a secured building, and we just finished a great project. And I thought, gee, I'm going to do something. I probably shouldn't admit this, but it was 40 years ago, so it doesn't matter. Nobody's going to care. And I decided I'd bring some wine back. So I brought a couple of bottles of wine back to the building so everybody could celebrate this. And the manager saw this thing And he went almost insane. He said, do you realize what's going to happen if security finds out that we've got this stuff in the building? So he took it down to the restrooms and poured it all down the toilet.
We used to
Or
have
so he said.
oil rigs offshore. Used to be out some Italian oil rigs, and they would drink wine with every meal. I guess
Well,
it's just a culture thing. They didn't get drunk, but they would. That was their
Right.
drink of choice. And I couldn't believe it. They, you know, every time we go out there, they would give us wine to bring back with us, wine and cheese. And I'm like, wow. Yeah.
I've got something to show today, and I'm gonna have to thank Matt for everything associated with it. Because one, he sent a link to indicate how to make a detail gouge. So for the first time, I've sharpened a detail gouge. I'm gonna say correctly. I don't know if it's true, but at least I could use it after using the information. And two, last week, he showed how to make a finial. Now, I know we've done that several times, but for some reason, I just could never quite get it right. And his description of using the drawing and the concept of tapering, I think that's the first finial I've done that's, I would say, didn't look like a, oh, I don't even want to admit what my finials usually look like. So thank you, Matt. This has been a very successful demo that you gave. I don't mean to put anybody's demo of finials down that they did in the past, but this one, I finally got things in reasonable proportion.
I'm really glad it worked out for you, Dave, and you know, they'll only get better. So
I'm
go.
sure they are. I spent the entire week doing almost nothing but finials, but because we were doing the birdhouses, I decided I'd do a birdhouse. And if you notice, it's, whoops, I got to bring it closer to me. Not in proportion either. The only thing that's in proportion for it is probably the finial, which is probably too long for the body of the birdhouse, but that's all right. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I think it looks great.
enjoyed it.
I think it looks good.
It's
Yeah.
designer's options.
Very nice, Dave.
What's
Where's
that?
the information about the detail gouge?
What was that?
Matt, where is the information about the detail gauge? How to sharpen one?
Well, one of the I don't know exactly what Dave is talking about, but on our YouTube channel, one of the segments that Dave chopped out for us is the little blurb I did about, well, it might be on the tail end of my video. I'm not exactly sure, but one of the things I added was a link to the True Grind sharpening video that you don't have to have the True Grind sharpening system to use it, but it shows you how to shape an Irish grind tool, and you can, from there, and using what I said in the demo, you can, you know, I showed how I did it with my own detail gouge. You know, you shape the profile first, and then you sharpen the sides, and then you make a pass to tie it all together. Yeah.
Okay.
So it might be in two parts, and I don't remember, Dave, if it was at the end of my demo or if you got a separate section out.
Your demo, I think that I made the comment, and you did point out that you do the end first, then you create the wings, and then you also put the link in. Between those two, I finally have one that cuts.
Great. If it's working for you, that's all that matters.
That's right.
Yeah, I need to do that.
Yeah, I really like that the True Grind sharpening video, because it shows you how to create an English, an Irish grind, deep fluted bow gouge, and the video is really well done. So you can say, okay, if I need to do this profile, that if you want to change the grind, you can do it based on that, on what they put in there. And this is how you use our jig video, So I don't know, it was useful on a bunch of levels.
Okay.
So it's at the tail end. I talked about my detail gouge specifically on the tail end of my demo, and it's on our wood turning YouTube video, which has been posted in the last week. Thanks, Dave, for doing that. It was fun to watch it again.
Yeah, I'll watch it, definitely.
Yeah, and basically what I did is I took an old spindle gouge, a 1/2 inch spindle gouge, and reshaped it on the grinder to make a detail gouge. And I know that Cindy Drozda sells some, and other people do too, but her pictures on her website, and I think she may even have a how I made this video out there herself. So, but I was trying to get it sort of like halfway towards hers when I made mine. Because I could see how she was using it to turn her finials, and she's like my hero for finials. So
Yes, you're right. Absolutely.
Yeah,
so it's all built on everybody else's stuff. I'm sorry, Sue, go ahead.
she's got YouTube videos on how she does that detail gouge.
Yeah, she's also got something called the Vortex tool, which is like an extreme version of that.
Right.
I made one of those too.
Yeah, I've got one I like detailing with it. I got
What?
from Cindy probably 10 years ago or so.
What size does she use for that? A 1/4 inch?
I don't know. I
I
think
think
she's
it's
using,
3/8 inch.
Yeah, I believe it's 3/8. Yes.
and I think she starts off with just round drill stock, doesn't she?
Yeah. Yeah, she gets it from Thompson Tools.
Yeah, she gets it from Doug.
Okay, cool. Yeah, but it's a real useful tool also. And if you don't feel up to doing your own, then buy hers because it's a great tool.
Yeah. Well, I started doing Christmas ornaments and I realized I need something a little more fine than what I'm using today.
Yeah, and I will say, if you practice enough with the skew, if you're good with the skew, you can get that stuff done with the skew. No, okay.
No, not there yet.
I've also used the Ron Campbell's axe, the diamond carbide with the really sharp tip on it. That works really well for that application too. If you have that or something similar to that, not the rounded nose one, but the sharp diamond one.
Okay.
That works really well if you're using carbides and you've got the diamond tool, the diamond cutter or whatever that's called.
I used to sell them as a smashed diamond because it is a smashed diamond.
Yeah, it's really thin.
They
it's
work
for
great.
getting those, yeah.
Yeah, you put it under the work and ease it up. Don't plow into it. You just ease it up, and it cuts beautiful.
Works great as a parting tool.
Yep. And you can roll the that tool up on its edge and get a really great shear scrape with it too. And clean up a round contour like a bead or something.
And when we sold the business, that was one of the first bunch of cutters we got rid of or sold out. That and the radius squares, both the 1/2 and the 3/8. Oh wait, I still have some 3/8 stuff up there in front. Trying to find a way to I don't want to throw them away. That's the deal. And I'm prohibited to get back into business. It's the medical thing. So I'm trying to find the way to put them to some use someplace. Pen program would teach turning, anything like that. So if you don't want, let them get in touch with me. I'd be very interested in doing so. I hate to waste it, and that's why I say I don't want to throw them away.
Well, I might need it for I want to get your take on it before I let it by your boss.
Okay, we picked up somebody's TV. So if your mics are open, we're going to get your television. So, all right. As I said earlier.
Eddie, I'm sorry, but can you co-host me one more time?
Yeah, I saw he got
Every little interruption knocks me out. This time it was a phone call from my wife.
Doug, this can get a little weary after a while.
I know it.
Yeah, hey, I'm happy to help too if you guys don't want me to. If you need it, if you'd like help.
You're in there, man.
Yeah, I'm not as a co-host though.
You're in there.
Thank you, sir.
I thought you were. I clicked it. Oh, somebody else is. And just now it happened. As I'm doing it to you, somebody came in and moved the buttons. Oh,
I hate it when that happens. I like Lord of the Lathe though. I think you should keep that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
I saw that this morning in an email from somebody. And but I gotta have a little fun with that. All right, I figured another way to get around it because we got all kinds of folks dropping in right now. So Matt, I think I have you in. I have Billy Burt in.
Yeah, he's a co-host now.
Billy Dillard in. David Rhodes, Dean Grimes, Doug Miller, Matt Harbor, Safety Sue. Wait a minute, Doug Miller.
Yep. I'm in there twice.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, my iPad, my iPhone, both. This is the better way, I think. Having me the co-host on my iPad is better. I think that way, if I get a call, it's not affected.
Okay, well, you're in both now.
He's just trying to get 2 memberships, Captain. Don't let him
twice the pay.
Yeah, I was going to say, as long as he's paying for both of them, that's fine.
Yeah, there you go.
Sometimes this feels like a Three Stooges movie. You know?
To me too.
All right, for folks wondering what the co-host thing is, if you're a member, these are just members that have decided that why did I lose my image? All right, I'm back again. These are members that want to help a little bit more. You can help too. All you have to do is say hi. I want to do this. Send me a text if you want. Talk to me right now if you want. A co-host has got almost as many responsibilities and options as the host does. When I need to bring somebody on board for a conversation or for a gallery, etc., my co-host helped me find that person on that screen of 65 names up there right now, and they find that person and key them in. I can't do all of that at one time. Brain ain't working that good. So if you like to be helping, it's your club. The pay is kind of low, but you'll get talked about. That's for damn sure. But I mean, darn sure.
Yeah, really. Yeah. And people will always be bringing up stuff like epoxy on your bed, your banjo to your lathe bed, and all that stuff.
Did that ever happen?
Like that?
Did that ever happen to anybody?
Sounds like somebody made that up. I can't imagine.
I plead the fifth.
Hey, Billy, talk to me about that articulated thing hanging in your screen there.
This
right
thing
in front
here?
of you. No, the one above you.
Oh,
behind
this.
you. Yeah.
Okay, this is it's an articulated microphone stand.
Okay.
And it's got a 1/4-20 nut here on the end, but I don't use it because it's got a 1/4-20 nut on the end. I can screw anything that you would put onto a regular tripod onto it. So I can screw my webcams on it. I typically use that for my scroll saw, which is sitting right here.
Gotcha.
I can also, I have this that I can screw on it too that holds a phone. So I could conceivably record with my phone if I wanted to put that on there.
Nice, nice.
But it was sold as an articulated microphone stand, and I just got it clamped to a home. Not
Yeah,
a gurney,
it looks
a
like
homemade gantry that I can spin 360 degrees. I used a Lazy Susan to make it, and I've got it counterweighted on the back.
Very nice. Yeah, it looks like it started life as just one of those articulated arm lamps.
Yeah, but it wasn't. It was it was a microphone stand. Oh, wait.
Okay.
I got two of them here. Yeah, this was a microphone stand, and I've got it glued to this. I mean, it's screwed on because I don't have a microphone that I use except this one. And I've got this screwed on a piece of plywood, and I put a hole, and I've got this other clamp onto it that's got this flexible gooseneck. Now that was for this, for your phone. But quarter 20, I can screw my cameras on it as well.
Yep. Yep. Very cool. Okay. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Sorry.
I'm going to ask you because everybody else is going to ask too. Where'd you get it at?
Amazon.
I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah, I'm Amazon. I got this one at Amazon. I got this one at Amazon.
Yeah, I got those. I got articulated arms. I got two of those articulated arms that are about that size, or the goosenecks that are about that size too. So that's where I got mine too. I don't know, it's like a 19-incher or something like that.
This one is about 18 inches. This is 24.
Gotcha.
I got this is the same kind of arm, but it came with my lighted magnifying glass attached to it, and that's why I ordered it. So it's got an LED ring around it, and I use that for when I'm selling.
Very cool. Thank you.
You know, that's a really handy move to do that. And when I asked where's that, I figured it was Amazon. I was at physical therapy this morning, and I saw a lady using a different set of weights or something in a pool. And I said, I bet you got that at Amazon. And she looked at me strange and she says, no, I got it at Walmart. And her husband was right next to her, and he says, no, you didn't. You got that in the mail at Amazon. You know, I think I have 3 Amazon products came in today, and they're out on the porch. Because my wife and I are just like everybody else. Zip, 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 boom, it's coming.
Well, yeah, I don't have to go anywhere to get it. It comes.
Yeah,
I've got my phone is linked to my Amazon account too on the computer. So if I'm like talking with somebody and there's a neat piece of tool or something, I just zip onto Amazon and put it in my cart for later when I've got some stuff built up to justify spending the money, you know?
Yeah. Boy, that almost got me in trouble this weekend. My grandson wanted to show me one of those helicopter things, you know, the drones.
The drones.
He wanted to show me a drone, and I called it up on my iPad and tossed it into my basket, you know, just so I could have it there to look at. Almost bought it 2 days ago. It said everything in basket, and I started hit yes. And I said, wait, I only put one thing in a basket. And he would have been, well, I might have been playing with the drone, you know. That's all I need is be out in the yard doing this. Can you use that thing when you're laying on your back? I'd end up there in about 30 seconds.
Captain Eddie, I actually have a drone and several radio controlled model airplanes. And that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we saw a guy at the we go to the boat launch to go for a walk occasionally, and there was a guy out there that pulled one out of a little knapsack and opened it up, and it was fun to watch, and he was very good at it. He put it on hover, and it came back to the GPS that he started out at and went down to like 10 feet off the ground and just hovered there. And that was like a $200 unit. And he told me all about it. We had, you know, interesting conversation. If my wife had seen that come in on Amazon, I'd be bleeding someplace. She would.
They make some nice indoor ones too. With cameras. With cameras.
Mhm.
Yeah, this guy had one when he walked over. The guy that showed us at the boat launch, he had his camera on and he turned around to look at us and look over at the launch. And I said, "Is that handy?" He said, "Boy, we'd be out here on a weekend. Those girls are getting in those boats. It's damn handy."
It's just like a laser engraver. Once you get one, you're done.
That's it. Yeah, that's right.
I've got. I don't have a camera shaped like the Millennium Falcon. Had it for me for Christmas a few years ago. It's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot of fun, but it sure is nose heavy.
Well, somebody gave me when I was trying to get my hand-eye coordination. They gave me a little helicopter thing, and we were out in the yard, and I flew it around one day. And my wife came out, and I was standing there with a little controller. She says, "Well, helicopter." I said, "It went that way." And it did. I have no idea where it went. It just went that way. Somebody's probably got a helicopter they can't fly. But it was fun. I learned a little hand-eye coordination. Not a lot. Some days I wish I could do that again so I could get back to work on a lathe again. That's what's keeping me away from it right now. What I like about the laser engraver is I've got the smash stop button right here. If I think I'm getting in trouble, I can just and walk away. And the wife knows where that button's at in case. Yeah, in case I got lunch, she'll come in, all right, you gotta go. Come on, let's go. So somebody, okay, they asked to see Cindy Drose's link, and it's up on the chat now. And I said earlier, somebody put their information to be on a contact list. We don't have a membership list. We don't have a membership roster because we don't collect those kinds of things. Remember, we're free. We have no affiliations, no commitments. We might be dating a lot of people. We didn't marry anybody. But if you'd like to be contacted, what you have to do, and this is purely voluntary, no commitment whatsoever. If you'd like to be on our contact list, you put what you want to have on a list. You can put your name, your address, your phone number, your dog's name, whatever you want that you want underneath your name on a contact list. Put it in our chat tonight. Dave, our webmaster, our master webmaster, will remove it from the chat and place it in what we call the members list. On our contact little square on our website, in the top right-hand corner of that square, there's a thing that says members list. And it'll pop up a little fill-in blank. Fill it in exactly. I mean exactly as it says. If it says uncheck a box, uncheck the box. It gives you a phrase to type in the phrase. Put all the punctuation, all the capitalization in. Where this is a program to keep us bot proof. Because if we don't do something right, one of these bot people will pick it up and we'll all be in the soup that gets a million emails and phone calls and everything. Mm-hmm. So if you want to be part, that's how you do it. And then once you're in it, once you're in, okay. And Dave processes it, he will put that on one sheet with all the other members. It's not a live sheet. You have to enter in. And if you want my information for my addresses, capn@eddiecastellan@gmail.com. It'll be there, but it's not highlighted. You can't just press that and you go. You'll have to type it into your computer or your telephone. But print it or put it on your laptop or your desktop or your iPad or your phone. Just click it off as a PDF and save it. And that way, if you look for it, you got it. It'll be in the last place you look for it. Who?
You down.
Tim Hatch wanted to be on a birdhouse club. Tim, you building birdhouses?
Yes, sir, Eddie. Showed you guys a couple of them last week. And so, yeah, and I'm going to do mine with a skew, a couple of them anyway.
Good. Our skew master might be in tonight. He just returned from GK and our GB Great Britain this week, and he might be with us this evening. And that of course is Kade. He had to get back and take care of Cash.
Yeah, he may be sleeping off the jet lag too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hey, Eddie.
Based on the pictures they were showing, I don't think he got a lot of sleep. So
I think he had a pretty good time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some whiskey
Hey.
sleep.
Hey, Eddie, remember those angle gauges I showed 2 weeks ago, made out of
yes.
aluminum? Okay. You know, those are the Stewart bag gauges. I got mine at Woodworkers Emporium. That's where I found them. But Cindy Drozda is also going to start selling them because he's making them again.
Okay.
So I just
Now,
wanted to let her.
Woodworkers Emporium, is that the place down by Dallas or Houston?
They were in Vegas, but they're really
Yeah.
fading out. They're online only now. They
Okay.
closed
Yeah.
their shop.
The address is still Vegas,
Okay.
but I just wanted everybody to know. And also on Cindy's site, she's got stuff that really helps all of us folks that, and you can go on the site and download what she's put on for teaching. And this is one of the things she's had on there, using the golden rule, how to do a finial. And
There you go.
don't have to take the course. You don't have to take the course in order to download all this stuff. You just go into the patient part and start downloading. And this whole little packet here is all on finials and pedestals. So I haven't tried yet, but you know, I was downloading. I did take the course for this one. I think that's gorgeous.
That is.
We'll see.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I
And
want
what's
to. That's on my list. She did offer that in the last, I don't know, several months. Maybe it's online somewhere, but she did teach that class live on one of her IRDs very recently.
Yeah, about a month and a half ago, maybe.
Yeah, it was only about a month and a half, and it's on.
Yeah, and she, I also took the one for the chalice as well, which was this one.
Yeah, that was good too.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one. I did not take, I'm not doing the one for this. That's above my pay grade right now, so. But she's got all the work stuff and where to get stuff and all that stuff. She has, you just go under education and you start downloading the packets, notes, and it's all there for us and it's all free. So
she's not only a really good turner, she's a good person.
Absolutely.
And she a great instructor.
I asked her just a little question and she sent me 2 pages of stuff on email. She's just a lovely person. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, if you sign up for her newsletter or whatever, like once every few weeks, she has like an open forum on Zoom also. It's not as frequently as our meeting is, but it's like once every 3 or 4 weeks, she does that like on a Saturday afternoon or something. Maybe it's Wednesday afternoon. I don't know. But you get notifications for stuff like that. And I attended several and they were good. So
who does she partner up with that to do that? There's
Rank.
the turner.
Well, she worked with Alex Zenrich early on. Alan Zenrich he got her started on doing IRDs and was her mentor for that piece of it. Is that who you're talking about?
No, there's somebody else. Somebody
Todd
named
Raines.
just
Todd
now said
Raines.
his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, Todd
Todd Raines. That's
There's
it.
Yeah,
several
be on
of
with
them
him.
that have grouped up together for stuff like that. Todd and her, and I forget who else.
Lyle Jameson's in that
Lyle's
pack.
part of it.
Yeah. And that's a good thing. They're non-paid IRDs or not pay-per-views, and they're interesting. And it's, you know, she's watching the monitor and answering questions as they come in.
No,
So,
they do a great job.
They do. And that's where, if more clubs and organizations took that to heart, that's where this world of ours is going to go, or should go. I belong to a club that used to always post their newsletter with photographs and tips and tricks and hints and all that on the internet for everybody to go to. They had a management change, and now that's secure information. If you're not a member, you can't get it. What in the hell is secure information?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? Tell me that turning can be done on a lathe? I mean, you know, I have a tip or a trick, but it's mine. That's not the way this world is, and it's not the way I believe this world should work. And that's how this got started 3 years ago, when I found out that people were trying, but just weren't sharing information. So we're here sharing information. Next week, we're going to share a ton of it, because next week is our tips and tricks episode. Yes, we have a tips and trick. I can't even say it. A tips and tricks program next week, and guess who's starring in it? You'll never guess. It's you. You're the star of the show next week, because you have a tip or a trick that you can share with him and her and those people. And well, not those people, but you have a tip or a trick you want to share with folks. We had somebody pop in on this last time we did this. Well, we only did it once. I think it was Jim Duxbury came in, and he blew me away, because he went out to his shop and took a little bitty pile of his stuff and brought it in and showed us, and we were all going, what? How? Where'd you get that? Why didn't I think about that? I've been through that road, you know. So we're challenging everybody to beat out Jim, because well, we can't beat him up. Well, you put him to shame, maybe.
He's got too much of a head start, but he certainly is an inspiration.
Never mind, I'm looking forward to it.
That jig he showed last week was genius.
It was, yeah.
You know, that unbelievable.
Yeah, but you know, that's a secret. Don't go sharing that as a secret. And that's why our master webmaster clips those pieces out of our regular membership meeting and puts it on our website so everybody can share in it. And I love that. Like somebody said, what about Matt Harbour's demonstration last week on finials? Well, our master webmaster watched it, went out and turned a finial on a birdhouse. So I don't know if we're going to have a Matt Harbour club, or we'll just stick with the birdhouse club. But, you know, we had the 2x4 club. We played that for a long time. And it's all fun and games, just to relieve the pressure of what we do and have some fun. But you know, when you go out to the shop and you start doing something and you go, man, how can I do this? And that we've already given you an idea. So you can say, I can build this tool. I can build this jig, this rig, change it. I mean, just how many of you folks just saw what Billy Bird showed you with an articulating microphone arm? And that is handy. I wish I had something like that right here by my laser burner to put a little exhaust fan on, so I can move it where I want it to blow across when things are burning.
You can get them on
to get 'em to
Amazon
the
for
window,
about
to get 'em out the
$15,
window.
Eddie.
Yeah, well, that's where I'm going, Billy. I can't go right now. I'm kind of, you know. But Billy, unlike you, I wrote it down. All right.
Exactly.
Check eBay for them. I just bought 3 at $13.19 each.
You always keep that notepad handy, you know.
Oh yeah. I have one dedicated to this club, and every week I have another sheet. And when somebody calls or gets a hold of me and asks me, what happened to such and such, I can go back here and I can say, okay, go to the website and look under, and there it is, you know, and it's helpful as heck. Now, I got to say, when people call me, since I took that second retirement 7 weeks ago, I don't carry my cell phone. I don't. It was part of my problem. So if you call me, just leave a detailed message. When I can, I'll call you back. I like talking wood turning with folks, but there's a pressure thing for healing that I have to follow. Rules, you know, and this is the only day I don't take my happy drugs. So Matt Harper says, what is this about dots painting? Oh, we should have made a Matt's dot club. No,
yeah, Dave's trying to put my name on these clubs. I mean, I'm cool with Brenda being the Band-Aid club lady, but I don't want to take a finial club because, you know, have my name on a finial club because everybody's making good finials. So
yeah. But, you know, it's when we do these things, Brenda was a joke because every time Brenda came on, she had a Band-Aid on her hand someplace. And I don't see Brenda on the roster yet tonight. And we did the 2x4 club because Ronnie Burnett was so cheap, he only used 2x4s to start turning. And then he found out it's a good learning experience because it's a crummy piece of wood to turn, and you got to use good technique and good sharp tools, and what comes out can be really nice. And we had
I've taken whenever I have cutoffs, I look at the grain pattern. If I've got nice grain, I save it for turning now. If I've got done 2x4s, it's pretty.
Yeah, I saw one of our local turners stop down the street from me where they're adding on a house, and he was out picking up blocks of 2x8s off, you know, that they had dropped sawing off the rafters, and he's picking them all up. And a guy came over to ask him, "What are you doing?" You know, I guess they didn't want to lose these 12-inch drops. But he had a whole pile of them in the back of his truck. He was heading to a club meeting in a couple of weeks and going to give them away. I think he was going to make it a challenge. Which will be
pretty.
fun.
You get a nice, tight, vivid grain pattern in those, and it really makes some nice turnings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now we're going to have a birdhouse challenge for Thanksgiving. And with that, we just like you to turn a birdhouse. Dave Rose just turned one. Turn a birdhouse, any kind of a birdhouse. And birdhouse challenge, this is going to be Wednesday before Thanksgiving. That's going to be a birdhouse challenge. Now, I have David Rhodes asking, do we have a Christmas ornament team coming up? Christmas ornament, come on. You have to plan that back way a long time ago. We always put off Christmas ornaments until the last minute, don't we? So we may have to do that, a Christmas ornament challenge or a team for that. This is a challenge to you to see what you can turn and how you can turn it. Somebody mentioned they want to do something with a skew reel soon. And our skew master title we gave him is, he's done some wonderful demonstrations for us on these meetings with just a skew. And he shows us what it turns just with the skew. And I know that people out there saying, how the heck did he do that? I'm getting a bumper that my internet connection's failing.
You're a little bit in and out.
and I don't see why. I'm on that really top-notch Mobile One wire stuff. Oh well, we'll see if we can get it cooked up again. Gotta look see if something came unplugged. I only have a rat nest of plugs behind me. So, hey, if you got some gallery, you got a few minutes before we go to Billy Burt for a demonstration. If you have a gallery, I mean, like Gary in Oklahoma City says you got something to show. Gary, talk to me, bud.
Okay, well, I have bought a new house. We're starting to clean some stuff up. There was an old dead tree there, and I cut it down a couple of days ago. It was about 14 inches, 16 inches in diameter. Cut it down, but there was a crotch there that I thought, well, I'd try and turn. It's not cut exactly where it should have, because this would have been one side and this was the other side. But I did a bowl, and I don't know what kind of wood it was, because it's been dead for probably several years. But first time I've ever tried to make a bowl or any kind of turning with something missing like that. And,
It's pretty what it is.
Cool.
I'm sorry?
I said it's pretty wood is what it is.
Yeah, I made sure that I was not standing in the line of fire, because I was so afraid that that thing would just bust up. But I was lucky to get it undone. I'm about a fat 1/8 of an inch up to probably 3/8 in the bottom. But yeah, I do have one question. I used the spar varnish or spar urethane, and this was the satin. I'm wondering if it would be better if I went to semi-gloss. So some of the people that use that, or some of these other finishes, what do you recommend for something of this type? What kind of gloss, semi-gloss, satin?
It's no preference.
Yeah, it's up to you. If you want the satin look, then you use satin. If this is an experiment, then you could try them all and see what you like. You've got to, if you want to switch to semi-gloss or gloss after using satin, you've got to sand it down pretty decent.
Well, this was a Y that when we cut the tree down, we cut it into the upper part into sections. And then I looked at that Y, up there, it was about 20 feet up before it was cut down. And I looked at that, why didn't I cut the dimensions a little bit different to where I'd gotten a little bit farther down to where you could see a little bit more of the Y, but I split it in half right there on the ground and brought both halves back to the house and turned this one. And
I think you did fine. That's real pretty, Gary.
I've got the other half yet to where I'm not sure. We're going to be moving to that new house sometime in November. And so I don't know if I'm going to have enough time to do any more turning or not.
Well, one thing to keep in mind when you're turning a branch section or a crotch section is that as you get further away, as you get further to the outside, you're going to lose some of that figure. So when I'm turning a crotch section like that, and I'm trying to get the flame and keep it, I tend to turn shallow bowls, not deep bowls, just because I want to keep as much of the flame as possible. But
right,
that still looks very nice.
Okay, yeah. I mean, this was, I took the wood and let it tell me what it wanted, and or what you get from it. So I tried to listen to what the wood was giving me, and so
don't feel bad. You always kick yourself 5 minutes after you cut the log in half.
Yeah.
And if you want to sell it, do high gloss, because it sells 10 to 1 if you're going to sell it.
I agree.
I'm thinking the house, the people are still living in it, even though we bought it. And we had to buy it early because to build a shop, which I'm in the middle of constructing. To get the city permit, you had to own the property. So we bought it ahead of time, and I'm thinking about giving this to them as a housewarming when they move
Oh,
for the
nice.
new house. So it's kind of something from their old house.
Very nice.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, they'll like
Very
that.
nice.
Yeah.
All right,
You got
Gary,
a
thank
new-
you, sir.
Thank you.
You got a new take on a yarn bowl.
All right, let's pop into, we got a few more. I want to
Charlie
get into
Bundy
Tim.
had something.
All right, Charlie, talk to us.
Yes, sir. I'm here. Can you
All
find
right.
me?
You're online.
All right. I made a flower vase with a flower top.
Wow.
That's nice.
This is out of Riddle.
Wow.
Love it.
That's really pretty.
Really pretty. Nice carving.
It'd been laying on the ground for a long, long time dead. Part of it underwater. That's what all the stain.
Nice.
Very nice.
That was a good plan. Got some nice figure and color out of it.
Yes,
Really?
it does. If I'd have cut it down and put it underwater, it'd never come out right.
Oh,
And then I have a bowl made out of maple.
Oh, that's nice.
Very
pretty.
big. Yes.
That's all I
Great
have
job,
for today.
Charlie.
Very nice.
Beautiful.
Nice.
All right, we got one more ready, I think.
Kate's in the house.
Tim Hatch wanted to show a detail. Tim, you back with us?
Yes, sir. Hang on one second. I'll walk out to the shop real quick. So I know Billy's gonna be showing his elbow tool modification. We talked about this one last week. It was a mod that I was doing, and I'll be real quick about it. But pardon the shop, it's a mess like the shops are supposed to be. So the elbow tool, I took out this section completely out of the elbow tool. That's the joint that attaches to the tailstock. Sorry if the lighting's bad. I took out this entire section, and what I ended up coming up with was a shorter. Well, can you see that or not? I got a shorter piece here. I have my 5/8 inch bolt. Move things around so I can see, so you can see. All right, so I have a 5/8 inch bolt attached to about a piece of 4-inch, that 1/2 inch bar stock we talked about last week, Eddie. A couple stop collars on there, and that bolt is a grade 6. I'm sorry, grade 8, about a 6-inch long piece there. And then for attaching it to my lathe, I think you can see that right here. Yep. So that's that tool post that I made on that piece of 1/2 inch plate. The other modification that I made with this was I took a box rest and put a stop collar on that. So now I've got kind of a combination. It's kind of like a Trent Bosch with the flat tool rest here with a little leverage point and kind of a snake hollower and kind of just, pardon the French, bastardized it quite a bit, but it works and it works well. I did send you and Dave a copy of how I did this. So if folks are interested with that, maybe you guys can publish it or whatever. So that's what I got. And again, not trying to step on Billy's toes, because I know he's going to do a great demo on how he did it with his. It was just, I want to show a different way of doing it if I could. So.
You ain't stepping on anything, Tim, but you didn't bring me any dinner.
Well, I tell you what, that old pork stew is pretty doggone good, man. Next time you're in my neighborhood, we'll do dinner.
All right.
What's the purpose of the modification? Why did you modify it? What was your purpose?
The reason I modified it, Trish, was with his JIT 1221, the way the elbow tool is designed, the length on there is too big for my little lathe. With the tailstock on there, I've got this extra, oh shoot, it's at least an 8-inch bar on the back where the tailstock adapts to it. And I didn't have enough room to swing anything to make it happen. So that was a reason for the modification. Then since I was getting rid of the tailstock support, I had to come up with a way to support the tool itself. So then I kind of looked at Tim Yoder's elbow tool too. And I also looked at, I think there's a couple others out there that go off that similar design with a post. And then Trent Bosch has his goes from the banjo back. And I tried that at first because both my banjo and the bolt, the tool rest are both 5/8 inch. And I could do it from the banjo, on that tool rest, but I just thought this was a better modification going back there with that mount on the bedways there.
Okay. I was just curious to why you were making a change. That's it. Okay,
yeah, the only
cool.
reason I made the change was it's a great tool, but I was having a difficult time trying to get it into an item because the extra length on the tool itself.
Okay.
And I could have cut the bar down, but I'm planning on buying a bigger lathe later on, and I don't want to have to buy another tool or another bar. I'm cheap that way.
Looks like a good modification, Tim.
Yeah, it's something that'll work.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, where are we in? All right.
Tom Kenny had something, Ed.
Yes.
Tom, talk to us.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Now we hear you. Now we got
There we
you.
go. The first thing I want to show is a little alabaster box that I made. And this is a great project to invite yourself over to somebody else's shop because it makes a mess. And it's not sawdust, it's not shavings, it's dust. And it's kind of like talcum all over the place. And let's switch cameras. This is a little piece of alabaster, and the finial and the ring are out of Wingay, and it's not but about 2 inches.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That is
And
gorgeous.
tiny. Oh my goodness.
And like I
Well,
say,
that's a piece of work.
It
Yeah, it
makes
is.
one heck of a mess. There's no finish. All you use is scrapers, and dust goes everywhere. It's in your hair, it's in your nose, it's everywhere. So go to somebody else's shop if you're going to do this.
Right. Oh, I like that.
Oh, pretty.
This is a little piece I saw a YouTube video, and the guy showed how he did it, and it's really quite simple. And if it's done right, it will come out like the yin yang type two semicircles that kind of merge. The mistake I made was the centerpiece, which is sapele, was thicker than the top and the bottom piece. And so it didn't come out quite right, but what you do is you glue up your blank, find centers, you go up a 1/4 inch on one side, down a 1/4 inch on the other, and that will offset it.
Yeah.
So had I done it right, it would have been kind of half and half on the top and the bottom. But the top is top and bottom are yellow heart, and the middle is sapele. And it's got a nice little, in better lighting, it's got a nice little chatoyance, a little flash to it as it goes around.
Oh, that's nice. Don't folks, if you want to you want something to really look at the light reflection coming off the side of that piece on the right. That's going to let you take a good look at the finish. And not that the bowl isn't beautiful. It is beautiful. The finish is fantastic.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And that's our good old Parfix 3408 is the finish.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. That is some beautiful work.
Thank you.
All
I
right.
appreciate it.
Ray Davis has something for us.
Hello,
All right.
hello, everybody. You picked me up?
Ray
Yep.
Davis.
Hello.
We got you, bud.
You got me finally. Hey, first I want to apologize for last week. You called my name and I went down to unmute myself and I got a new computer and everything went away. So I went and had a beer. I'll show it what I had last week, this week. And it's a 3D illusion and I copied Mr. What's his name? Papa 47. It looked real interesting to make and a challenge. So here it is.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's gorgeous.
awesome.
Yeah, that looks great.
That looks like a good demo to me.
Absolutely incredible.
Oh,
Yeah, Gary would be proud, Ray.
Thank you. It was fun to make and kind of tests your woodworking skills to get your joints and everything put together. And as you can see, there's 6 stars and that everything kind of fits into those. And it's a real glue up challenge, but I thought it came out pretty well. And I just finished it with spray on lacquer. So
Looks great.
I may try another one with a different combinations of wood, but it may be a month or so before I do that.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Nice job.
Very nice.
Some gorgeous
That's all I
work.
got.
Thank you, Ray. All right. Ray, go have a beer on me, sir. Thank you.
All right. Sound like an idea.
All right. And as I mentioned a little while ago, what co-hosts do help us with, or tonight we've been hearing all the folks we've been seeing, our co-host have jumped in to help us with that. Speaking of co-host, I normally have to do something at this time of the evening on Wednesday nights, and it's enjoyable. I go visit with Safety Sue. Sue, what do you have?
Well, I have a little bit of a list, and after seeing the little video that Jim Duxbury showed last week, thank God that person had face protection on when it came flying off that lathe. So I was thinking about that, and it's been said before, but I think it's worth saying again. First, we're going to start with the chuck key. Make sure before you even try to go near an on and off button that chuck key is put away in the designated spot that you want it to be. And always start your lathe on the lowest speed or off, because if you turn that on and the key is in that chuck, it's going to spin out of there like a missile. So please make sure that your chuck key is put away in its designated place. And on top of that, make sure you stand to the side when you start turning up the speed, just in case. If it rolls out, comes out, it's not going to hit you in the face or the shoulder or any other place that you don't want to be hurt. So this week, think about what you're doing before you turn on the lathe. Stand to the side. Make sure the key is put away. And stay safe this week, guys. Take care.
Thank you, Sue.
Thank you, Sue.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sue. That's a great tip. I have actually done that, and it hit the tool rest before it came out of the chuck, and broke tines on both it was one of those geared keys,
Mhm.
broke tines on both the inside of the chuck and on the key. And then the dang key spat out. And I would thank my lucky stars I wasn't in a damage path.
Yes,
Yeah,
Sue, that's
sure.
an excellent suggestion, and another good or best practice, I'll say, is to never, ever turn loose of that chuck key when it's in the chuck.
Exactly.
Sue, I came up with something a while back. Somebody gave me a pool noodle from Dollar Tree. It cost $1. And I cut it and fit it over my chuck key. And when I put my key in my chuck, that noodle won't let me leave it. When I push down on it to put it in, if I let go, it's going to fall out the chuck.
Like that.
It's a cheeky,
Good
it's
idea.
a cheeky way to do it. But I mean, just so y'all know, if you stop by, I've got another 5 feet of this noodle left on the shelf back here.
That's a great idea.
But you can spare some, huh, Captain?
Yeah, I can share. Yes.
It's 20 cents a foot, guy.
And I'm not about to take that pool noodle to my aqua size class. No, that ain't going to work. All right. Well, folks, we're having a good time here tonight. One of our parts of our good time is that we go to somebody's shop and watch a demonstration. Now, demonstrations are put on by our members. We do not pay anybody for these demonstrations. This is just part of their membership. They want to help us. They want to share. You can share too. The rules on a demonstration are simple. Let the demonstrator do his demonstration. Please don't say, you know, I wouldn't do that. I would do something. No. Or you know what I like to do? No. Let's let them do the demonstration. Comments and questions are at the end. But first, I want to see if Billy Burt can come up with something tonight to show us how to hollow a piece out. Billy, you're on, but Billy, give me one moment. Right now, I'm going to mute everybody, and then you'll have to unmute yourself, Billy. So now you've been muted. If you unmute it, Billy.
There we are.
There we go. Okay. Now this means, folks, if you want to talk, you have to unmute yourself to talk. That keeps down the background noise. Billy, what are we going to do?
Well, questions have been asked about what hollowing tool do you use, or what hollowing system do you use, or what hollowing technique do you use? I use Yoder's original or version 1 elbow tool because I bought it from him at SWAT a few years ago. I made some changes to it though. And Tress, I changed it just because I wanted to, but this clamp, and let me show you, let me change camera views for a second. This around, I'll try not to make y'all too dizzy, but this thing clamps onto your quill. I mean, my 3520 is a little old, and it probably wouldn't have hurt the quill at all because this is relatively smooth inside, but I didn't want to have to keep changing and adjusting this. So what I did was I bought a Morse Taper 2 blank that's nearly the same diameter as my quill. And I hold it in with a drawbar. That I made this out of a piece of 12-inch 3/8 thread. Yeah, the one that goes in with the skin. I lost the name of it.
All thread.
All thread. It's
carriage bolt.
Yeah, it's carriage bolt.
Okay. Here's a 12-inch carriage bolt, 3/8, and it screws into the back of my Morse taper 2 fitting here. That's really about the only modification that I've made to it, but I did that because, like I said, when I want to take it off, I just undo this and it pops out, and it will let me take it between my 2014 and this lathe once I put the adapter on the 2014. So that's that. Let me change camera so I don't make you sick. So what we're going to do tonight is I've got a little piece of
We lost your audio, Billy.
oh,
We heard I'm going to take a little piece of, and you went away.
you can't hear me?
Now we can.
Oh, okay. Well, I've got this piece of, I think is spalted sycamore. Another piece that I got from Kim Tippin. I took the camera off and now I can't get it back on. Hang on one second. There we go. So this is it here. Oh, this contraption. That's another thing. This is just a bowl steady that I made, and I've got it up here to try to counteract as much lateral pressure in here as possible. So this is just a little bowl steady that I've got bolted to the lathe. I've got the standard cutter sitting in the tool itself. That's this cutter right here. And I'll get y'all situated in here. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that said, I've already got my adjustment on my RPMs where I want it. This little LED light is a sending light, is magnetic and sticks to the back of your tool wrist. And I like it. Let me get my face shield on so safety don't scream at me. And one of the things that I like about the elbow tool is it really only takes fingertip pressure and it starts cutting. I'm just using one hand, got a few hand fingers on it, and that's it. And that cutter eats wood. I've got this set on center.
Which cutter are you using, Billy? Is it at an angle?
Is that really, really loud? It's really, really loud to me.
Noise canceling is killing the sound, Billy. Is that just a sharpened a square tool steel?
Yeah, it's the same cutter I have, Matt. It's the sharpened tool steel, 1/4 inch.
It's just a square tool steel sharpened, right?
Yeah, with
Okay.
about a 15-degree rake on the front, and you can round it or keep it sharp. And you can buy those replacement cutters from MSC, McMaster Carr, or Granger.
Sure, thanks. I got a drawer full of those.
What was that?
We got it covered, Billy. Thank you.
Okay. And it's doing a pretty good job of eating that up in there. Now there are different things that you can put on here. Once I get it cut, then I will smooth it out on the inside using a carbide teardrop that I got from Ron Campbell, AZ Carbide.
I love those teardrops. They're great, especially for
They are
smoothing things
really
out.
nice.
Yep.
No problem holding that one-handed like that?
Billy may not be able to respond because of the voice override. His source is killing out his sound because of the noise of the cutter. But I want to answer that one for you. It is that smooth, single-handedly, because all you're doing at this time is guiding. You don't have to hold the tool down, and you all you have to do is move the bar the way you want it to cut.
Interesting. Thank you.
One of the reasons that I went to a hollowing rig is because when I tried to hollow something in a Robert Sorby Hollow Master, it nearly beat me to death. And but by the time I got through turning half as much as I wanted to turn out of the inside, I could barely move my arms. I mean, I felt like I'd been in a workout all day. It was just nuts. So I wanted something that wasn't going to hurt me. And I like this.
I can add from my limited experience with the one I just recently got. I got it because I injured my wrist, and that thing is so smooth. Doesn't give me any jarring, no issues with the wrist, nothing. So that's the reason I got it.
Cool, thanks.
Is that used with a laser?
He doesn't seem to have one.
My elbow tool hit my tripod. Are y'all okay?
Yeah, we're good, man.
Didn't mean to knock you. But you can, if you can, well, now quit. I've got this up on purpose so that it don't hit. I'll do it this way. I'll cheat. So, of course, the air compressor kicks on. Don't need that much air right now.
Okay, Billy, the Zoom noise cancellation is keeping us from hearing the air compressor or your hollowing. So you're good.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
It's being suppressed.
I'm happy to hear that. Okay, sickness is coming along all right. Got a little bit more work to do right there.
a laser attachment to this. But Tim wasn't making his own at the time, but he suggested I get the one from Ron Brown, and I did. And I've used it a few times. And it works well enough. It screws into the this hole here, and it works on. But it's aluminum and it's kind of lightweight, and it once you get vibration on this tool, it vibrates a lot, so it makes it hard to see. So I don't use it a whole lot, especially if I can see in here and feel what I need to be feeling. I'm not going to make this terribly thin to start with. But
Hey,
it needs
Bill,
to be. Yes.
where's the light that's shining inside your vessel? Ooh, okay.
It's Cindy Drozda's. You can get them from why? You can get them from Todd Raines at the wood turning tool store.
Okay.
She sells them as well, and they are really nice. I mean, it works a treat, as you can tell.
I like it.
I mounted one of my wife's sewing machines, and to highlight the needle area, and she loves it. In fact, when I put it on there, I had to call Cindy and order a couple of more.
The only bad thing about my little homemade system here, my bowl, is it's loud. But it works.
Well, the beauty of learning how it sounds is that you can, if something is, if you're getting too thin or it starts to go awry, you will hear it change in the sound.
Correct.
Also, you had an "oh damn" noise in the background. Oh damn.
Yeah, you want to detect noise changes before you do the oh damn noise.
Hey, Billy, this is Ray Davis. Do you have a laser that you use with that?
I do. Made by Ron Brown's Best. Oh, yeah, this is the box. But why is that showing up backwards? The laser itself,
battery powered laser. And, oh, I said it's screwed into there. It doesn't. It bolts on it. You use these to tighten it up. Let me get in camera. You use these to tighten it up onto this bar. And it sits like so. And then you adjust it how you want, but it's pretty lightweight, and I haven't been able to get the vibration out of it. So I don't use fingers are pretty good at telling me what I need to know.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. That and I can see in here. If I couldn't see in here and this was very long, I would probably be using the laser, even though I'd have to fight with the vibration. And I would do that because if I make the inside bigger than the outside, we've got a problem.
That's rule 747A. The inside diameter shall never exceed the outside diameter.
Do what?
The inside diameter shall never exceed the outside diameter. That's rule
No.
747A.
Doggone my high-tempered soul. I've been fighting a ridge right here, and I finally got it. Now I can hollow some more. Down there, what I need to be doing.
Remember, as you can see, Billy has listened to Sue's guidelines and is wearing his shield. You can see that right now. Because even though he's out of the line of fire, he's never completely out of the line of fire.
John, you always weighs in. We're close to depth, folks. Another cutter you can use on here, and I have one, is the Hunter 6mm diameter carbide. I have that from Ron as well, Ron Campbell.
Hey, Billy, can you explain to folks why you raised up your tool rest as you got deeper?
Actually, I lowered it a little because when I was cutting about on center, and as I got deeper, at least I thought I was cutting on center. And as I got deeper, I realized, oops, I wasn't. So I dropped 2 millimeters.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is going to be sand. I'll tell you that.
Thank you, sir.
And I think I'm ready to change cutters. Seriously? I'm just over. I forgot it's sitting on top of my toolbox. The beauty of this teardrop cutter is that you can change the attitude for the thinner, the pointier piece forward, or you can flip it around with the more dull piece forward. You can just move it all over the place. Now I have this bar in here such that I'm canted just a little bit on the downslope to give this more of a negative rake. I did that for the main cutter as well. That's just my preference. As they say, your mileage may vary. I just want to do that to get the bulk of the ripples out, and then I'll turn it around and use the bigger end, because the smaller end some of them, but others. Oh yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, and you see me bang the edge of this. Now I'm going to rework that a little while. Dummy. I'm stepping back and looking down to make sure that I'm still on center. And for me, when I'm doing this, when I'm got to the scraping point, if I feel the tool and I know when I'm got the ridges out. And if you use the same pressure pretty much all the way out, it won't cut too deep and it'll give you a nice cut. I am going to have to rework the outside of this vase. I can take that because I'm banging it all over the place. But I don't have a final finish on it either, so that's not a problem. Can you all see how much more smooth that is in there now? I'm not quite done, but it's looking nice. The only thing I hate about doing things like this is it's nearly impossible to sand them.
Use Dean's stick with sandpaper on it.
Well, I do something similar to that. Somebody gave me an old Cincinnati Reds bat once upon a time. And so I cut 2 slits in the end and stuck some sandpaper in it. And it works just fine.
Does that teardrop cutter give you a real smooth surface, or do you have to sand?
It leaves a relatively smooth surface. If sycamore was not quite as spalted, it would be leaving, because in some places it's really nice. And some places where the spalting is, it's not so nice. Yes, it will leave a really nice finish.
Okay.
If y'all could see how I'd pull it forward and I'd slip and then I'd slip. The reason that was happening was because that was a ridge. And then once that quit slipping like that, I knew it was gone. But luckily I can also see, and when I'm, just like when you're cutting on the outside, you look at the shadow over here or you look at the image over here. You don't watch where the tool's cutting, you watch over here to see what the shape's coming like. I was doing the same thing watching that back wall inside. When I had that other cutter on. Okay, getting close. That don't feel too bad. Remember where I was fighting that ridge right in here with the cutter? Now I got to deal with it with the scraper. Right there. And I've not been spinning terribly fast. Oh, I lied. I have been spinning terribly fast. That was 1100 RPM. But if it were to come out of here, I've got a few things in between me and it. I have this, I have the tool rest, and I have my face shield. Right there. Right there. Perfect. That duder. Now I don't need this noisemaker anymore. Now I have another gooseneck hollowing tool that I haven't used much. This is it was handmade for me by somebody, but these things just beat me to death. Absolutely beat me to death. And I'm too old to play that game anymore. Now at this point, what I would go to is my 80 grit and get in here where I can see and feel, because there's some tear out in this punky wood. So I would sand this with 80 and then go on up to 600. And then I would redo the outside of this also up to 600, which is what I will do later on both counts. But that's the elbow. Can y'all still hear me? Am I still producing sound?
Yes, sir, you are.
Okay. So that's the elbow tool and how I use it. I really like it. I don't know how well y'all can see in there. So what I'm going to do is one last time I'm
That's a view.
That's a nice cut there, Billy.
Thank you.
Very nice, Billy.
And
Really
so-
looks nice inside there.
So that's the inside and how smooth it is. And I don't know how long we've been doing this, but it didn't take that long.
I always figured that when we're watching a demonstration at this club meeting, it's very hard to judge the time being used because the demonstrator is taking time to explain his technique and what he's using, how his tools are working, modifications, etc. If you're doing this in your shop after seeing this demonstration, it will go much quicker. But I'm going to ask you not to take any shortcuts. Don't say, oh, I can do that, but I can do that this way or that way. Let's not take any shortcuts.
I think I did. I hope not. Finish.
That's a good demo, Billy.
But it's, but I and it does and what I can do with it. But what I really, one of the things I really like about this thing is how easy it is to control. I mean, y'all saw me and I was cutting quite well just with fingertip control on this thing. I wasn't moving it around a lot and I wasn't white knuckling it ever. And when I do use two hands on it, it's more for control than anything else. Because sometimes you just need that, feel. It's like, for those of you that are fishermen or fisherwomen, it's like when you're fishing and you've got a good rod in your hand and you know what that feel is. The same thing happens not just with this tool, but with any turning tool. If you let your hands and your fingers get attuned to the feel of what a cut feels like, or what a good scrape feels like, or what a smooth cut feels like versus if it's cutting a little choppy or rough, then it's the same thing here. You get that feel and you can tell when you've got a ridge or when you've got a little chatter that you need to work out. It just takes a little, well, it just takes practice.
Questions for Billy?
Sir?
Do we have any questions for Billy?
Oh, yeah.
I do have a comment, so I'll jump in again. I was watching YouTube video, as I was trying to decide what tool to get, and Bob Moffett offered me his older elbow tool. There was a lady with a disability. She only had one arm, and she was using the elbow tool to turn a bowl inside and out. And
yeah.
Total hand control. She did an awesome job. So, I'm fighting a disability with my wrist, being able to grip things and stuff. That's why I wanted one. But yeah, it's an awesome tool, and most of those systems are just well worth the money.
Yeah, I agree, and I have actually cheated, Tim, and used this on a closed lip bowl before, simply because I didn't want to have to fight the gouge down the side. I'm a lazy turner. And I didn't want to have to fight the guy down the side. So I
You
put
mean
my
an
elbow
efficient
tool.
turner?
I put my elbow tool on and I undercut that calabash bowl, and I was happy as a lark. It came out great.
That's being efficient, not lazy.
Thank you, Bob. I appreciate that.
That's my thought as well, Billy.
Well, my daddy always told me, work smarter, not harder.
My daddy always told me a fat guy finds an easy way to do everything.
I resemble that remark, Ed.
You may be talking to more than one of us, Billy.
There's
Yeah, that's
benefits to
true.
being well-rounded when you're turning.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
I'm pretty well rounded. All right. Y'all forgive my nasty shirt. I had to fix a plumbing issue before I came on, and I didn't have time to change.
It's okay with me.
But,
If you overdress, they expect too much.
Yeah, those honeydews will get you every time, man.
Oh no, we had no water, so I had to fix it.
We're just glad you had a shirt on.
Hey, yeah, me too. Actually, we had water. It was just leaking everywhere.
Okay, any other
can
questions?
I answer any more questions about the elbow tool or anything really? I mean,
It was a really nice job. And I think that light on the tool rest really adds interest. It's hard to make a deep hollow turning demo interesting, but when you can see inside of it, that really added to it.
thank you.
Nice job.
I appreciate that, sir. That was Mr. Hooksbury, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I could add another thing. After I got after I got one of these tools, a hollowing tool and a laser, I never had to buy a Forstner bit bigger than about 2 inch. Because if you want a 4 5/8 hole, 7 inches deep, you mark out 4 5/8, you drill a hole down the middle of it, maybe 1.5 inches in diameter.
Right.
You train the laser on the side of your lathe and you go straight in. It just works great.
Nice. Cool. Thank you, sir.
Anybody else?
Great job, Billy.
Yeah, just a great job. Appreciate you sharing your
Thanks, Sue,
your
Dean. I
knowledge,
appreciate it. My pleasure, folks, really. I mean, you know, like Eddie says time and time again, that's what we're here for.
That's why we came here. And this is beautiful. And this will be on our website. If you'd like to see a repeat of it, it will be on our website. Our webmaster will put it up there in a couple of days. And it's like, pardon me, we have the world's greatest wood turning website, far and above, far and above. Thank you, Dave Rhodes. It's a beautiful operation and he maintains it well. And all that information. See, like just now, Tim Hatch said he sent us in on something. How I made some modifications. That'll be there. Matt Harper talks about dot penning. That'll be there. Matt Steele with the finials. That'll be there. Well, we had other people too. But all that information will be on our website, worldwidewoodturners.org. Worldwidewoodturners.org is our website. A lot of questions, a lot of comments tonight. It's been a very interesting demonstration. I used to manufacture a tool very similar to what Billy Burt has. And a lot of the changes that Billy did and that Tim did and gizmos and gadgets, I did some of those. Because just like Billy and Matt, I started working with the tool and thought, man, you know what? If I change this, I can change that. And he had that hollowing tool that he said he didn't like to fight because it had a hook on it. I modified one of my arms to have a receiver to put that in to 3 Allen screws in it, and I could guide that with the hollow tool. It's all possible. It's all possible. If you come up with the tip.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Billy.
I was going to say, spotlight me one more time for a second.
You're there.
This is the piece that came out of my Sorby Hollow Master. Not quite 3/4 inch in diameter, but it's close enough. I have and do use this in here from time to time. The screws barely reach it, but they do reach it. And I can use this additional gooseneck to get in there around wider vessels if I need to. That
Or
was
you
it.
need to get way up underneath a cup. If you need to get deep inside of a bowl that's got a flat top and you want to scrape all the way in, that
Right.
tool would be very handy with it. And think about this, members, with the elbow tool, your hinge point continuously changes. So he
Yes.
could swing it way away from you, Billy. Show him how to put this. You see, you could move that way out there and get a deep cut with a regular cutter. That would be almost impossible. Think about if you're holding a cutter, a regular tool, and you try to do this way out reach, you're a better man than me because you have no control. But with this tool, you have ultimate control because you don't have to apply a lot of control on pulling it back and fighting it up and down.
Yeah, and you can put it just about anywhere you want it to get the cut that you want.
Yes.
I was going to say, this came out of this handle, but I did find a good use for it.
You put a mini gouge on it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I put a little bit of gouge on it.
So, thank you, Billy, once again.
Thank y'all.
Very interesting demonstration, folks. And if you'd like to do a demonstration for this club, it's real simple. Just put it in the chat that I'd like to do a demo. It's like Scott Hampton did just a few minutes ago. We get in touch with Dane. Now, Dane is away from home right now. And I got a note from him today that said he's a little bit jammed up. It appears that his truck quit. So he's going to get that fixed before he gets back to his shop. But he's still coordinating our demonstrations for us. So you put it in there, we'll have Dane getting back in touch with us. Now, earlier we spoke about Kade Bolger because he went to Great Britain to do some demonstrations, and we love the photographs and the tips and tricks and all. He's with us tonight. He's in there. So we have a full house of demonstrators, members, gallery, and did I say gallery? Wow, it might be time to do gallery again. Heather, if you're with us, Heather, you have to speak because she's got to do this while she's on break. So
Hi,
Heather, if
I'm
you're
here.
all right, good.
Hi, I'm here. Sorry about the camera shaking around here. I'm just on my phone.
Gotcha.
So this piece isn't finished yet. It's a piece
Wait a
of
minute,
poplar.
We're on Harold. We're not on Heather.
All right, talk again, Heather, because we
I'm
couldn't
here.
get.
I got
Hi,
it.
I'm here. You got me?
Yeah.
That's
All
Kade.
right.
There she is. Hey, everyone. Hey, Eddie.
Hi.
Ah, there she is.
There
Oh,
I am.
nice.
Okay. So this is a piece I've been working on this week. It's not finished yet. It's a piece of poplar. But it's a maple leaf out of poplar.
I like that.
That's
good.
awesome, Heather.
It's
That's
about
beautiful.
a 1/4 inch thick. I didn't trust myself to go any thinner than that.
That looks real pretty.
Yeah, that's
about
awesome.
It's about 9 inches across. And I'm going to do it in fall colors.
Oh, that'd be
Excellent.
nice.
Yeah, the colors up here in Canada are so beautiful right now that I figured, yeah, why not? I'll try it.
There you
There
go.
Ed.
Heather, I'm going to ask a favor. When you get it all painted out, will you send us a photograph for us to use on our promos?
I'll absolutely do that.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. Awesome. Thanks.
Beautiful work.
Very
Thank you, Heather.
Beautiful.
Thanks.
Very nice. I look
I
forward to
mentioned,
seeing it colored.
I mentioned our promos. I tried to generate a promo snippet each week from the photographs we receive from you, our membership. So if you send us a photograph to our website or you send it to me directly to worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com. That's worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com. And we'll use that image on our promotions. It's not a bragging thing. It's to show the rest of the world this is what you can do. This is the work you can turn on. This is the work we're sharing you tips and tricks and ideas on. So join in with us, because I really, really enjoy getting those photographs and seeing what you come up with. All right, who's up for gallery?
Jim Duxbury has a couple things.
Jim Duxbury, talk to us, bud.
Oh, wow. Okay, I have a couple things here.
And you are in the main circle.
You see that?
Let's see, it has started screen
yeah.
sharing. Now it's up.
Okay.
Oh,
There we go. Oh, nice.
You see it? My wife did this. It's a maple bottle, and she turned it and textured it and painted it. It was for my son's birthday. There's 10 holes in the side of it with $5 bills in it.
I was gonna ask how she got them to grow money.
Yeah. Well, just a fun thing.
That's
And
cool.
That's neat.
this is an oval bowl. Oh, these came up backwards. Anyway, this is an oval bowl. I turned it out of maple. Let me see if I can get the other one. That's what it looks like that way. It was a round bowl, and it cut a pie shape or a wedge shape out of the center of it, put it back together, and finished sanding it. And then she textured the outside and painted it with milk paint. 3 layers of slate gray and a marigold yellow and Salem red.
Brain core.
What? And then sanded it back a little bit.
I like it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is neat. Very nice.
It takes a lot of the sanding out of the outside, I can tell you that much. There's another picture of the inside. Different. And this is the bowl I did. I showed the video of it. I finally got it finished.
Beautiful.
3 serpentine cuts on the inside and the outside.
Those are just
Members,
neat.
he did a mini demonstration on this technique when he was turning this bowl. It's interesting. It's on our website.
Is it? Okay.
I
great.
must have missed that day.
Mm.
That is
Last
great.
week, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
just
last
last week.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right.
it's out.
Yeah, I missed last week.
This one's only got 3. Some I've got some big bowls that I've done 6 and 7 cuts across here. And then I've got a different cam. This is a 5-lobe cam. Maybe it shows it better on the other side. This is a 5-lobe cam with a 1-inch deflection across here. So this deflects 1 inch. But I've got a 4-lobe cam with an 1.5 inch deflection. It gives you more of a cross pattern here. This opens up the negative space is better through this, but either way, it just gives a different look to it. That's
Wow.
it for me.
Just wow.
Hey, Jim,
Yeah.
your demo last week was wonderful. I watched it since I wasn't here last week,
Oh.
and your jig was just genius.
Oh,
It's,
thank you.
I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
I have a lot of jigs. Some of them are gorgeous, and I can't remember what they do. It's
Hey, we all resemble that.
yeah. I got a couple. I don't even know what machine they fit on. I can't remember them. But anyway,
Thank you, Jim. That's beautiful.
you're welcome.
Are you going to be with us?
lives-
Are you
I
going to
was
be with
gonna
us
say,
next?
Any turners that live close to Jim, get to know him, visit with him, talk to him. Wealth of knowledge that we don't want lost.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Anytime. Anytime. We just had 4 over here last weekend from Raleigh. We spent the whole day. They came over for a couple hours and spent, I think they got here at 9:30 and left at 3:30. We had a good time, but
Right. We'll be
Yeah.
looking forward to seeing you next week, Jim. You got some gizmos and gadgets to share, right?
no, we still got a couple left. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, all right, all right. Even if you don't know what they do, we still like to see
You
them.
got it. Maybe you can figure it out.
All right. And we're talking about next week. Next Wednesday's meeting is dedicated to tips and tricks. So if you've got something you developed to use to work in your shop, like that thing that Jim developed he didn't develop last week, that he showed us last week, we'd like to see what you come up with. And if you haven't seen that demonstration, go to our website, look at last week's demo, and you will see it. It was fantastic. Had me scratching my head all day long. So Gary Bobenhausen's out there. And Gary, if you talk to us, we can go pop you right up on the screen, sir.
You're right. I'm right here now. Okay. I'm right here. I'm right next to you in my list.
You're on. You're on.
Okay. This isn't anything fancy or special. We have an art center in Denton, and they cut down some Bradbury pear. Bradbury pear trees, and they were just going to throw the wood away. Well, our wood club went up and we got a whole bunch of the wood, and we've been drying it out, and guys are going to make things, and they're going to take them up to the art council to show them. What I wanted to show was I made just two little itty bitty bowls. It's only about 6 inches across, but if you notice the color and how it changes color. Now this was bark that I got real close to.
Get rid of all of them in the holes.
We lost your audio. Gary, just unmute yourself again, sir.
Okay, I'm back.
Something
I guess.
blinked. All right.
Okay, but if you notice the colors, and this is light. Okay, now this was the first time I turned Bradford pear, and it was like turning butter. I mean, it was easy as pie and gorgeous, and it just came out smooth as glass. But remember this color, okay? This is from the same tree. I'm not sure.
Pull it back towards you. There we are.
I'm not sure it was from the same branch, but it was from the same tree, and it's totally different in color. It just dark wood, and I was amazed. I thought it was real interesting that the coloring of the wood, even though it's from the same tree, it was totally different. This thing is about I don't know, 6 to 7 inches across. Not real deep. It's only about an inch and a half deep. But like I say, we're going to take these up to the art center and show them what was made out of the tree. But that's it.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it, sir. Gary,
Those were
now
very,
very pretty. I just heard, or I got a message that even though we thought Billy Burt was a little thick, his wife said he's got to go eat dinner. So he'll be back with us in a little while. All right, Jim, I think Doug Miller has got something to show for us tonight. He's one of our co-hosts and our longtime members.
Got a couple of things here. I think I showed you a couple of weeks ago. I did a coffee tamper for a customer, and I said that I had a couple others. Here's a couple others. Got them turned.
Nice.
Nice.
Very nice.
Again, the stainless steel from Niles, and that's some same kind of wood that we were just talking about. That's pear. I just went out on my stack and grabbed a couple of the smaller pieces and turned those real quickly. And then I don't remember if I showed this a couple weeks ago or not, but the guys over in England have a challenge every month just to get people to try something different. And so this time it was cauldron. And so just a nice little cauldron, about 3 inches high or so. Again, that's
I like
pear.
that. I don't remember you showing that. That's beautiful.
Maybe I didn't. I don't remember. I've slept since then. But it's pear that I sprayed black, so it'd be a cauldron. Used a piece of coat hanger to do the bail on it. It is hollowed out. So anyway, it's just Matt said he saw it last week. Matt, you may have seen it on Facebook. But anyway,
I swear I saw you showing it in the meeting because it was live. Because I was like, oh, that's cool. So
I
I
may
have a
have.
distinct memory of it.
I may have. You might be right. But then a few weeks back, I was talking about, or several people were congratulating me on getting to 750 mark on YouTube. And I've said for a long time I was going to have a giveaway. I've got another prize. I've got two prizes. One is for US only, but then I wanted to do something that could be all over the world. So I did this one. It's a piece of red Mali burl.
That's
It's a burl cap. And so the backside, I've not finished the finish yet. The inside is finished. I just finished it up yesterday, I think it was. The backside, I've still got, it's just got one coat of finish on it. I'm going to put another coat of water locks on it, and then I'll buff it up by hand with some Axe and then some wax. So that's still to get finished, and I've got to get the video finished so that I can get it out as well. So there you go. Red.
Very, very pretty.
Nice
Very
piece.
nice.
Nice
All
job.
right.
Interesting. Nice
I
little
like
inclusion there
that
as
bark
well.
inclusion in it.
Yeah.
Very
That
nice.
gave it some real character, like it
Beautiful,
needed.
Doug.
That's
Doug, thank you, sir. Beautiful work.
thank
Looks
you.
like a river going down the center of it.
Yeah, it does.
All right, y'all filling in for Brenda tonight? Got a river going down the center. Okay, a minute ago, Doug mentioned that he had those tampers and he got them from Niles. Ruth Niles has sold her business, and the Jacobsons now operate it. Same quality, same everything. So if you're trying to get a hold of Ruth, you're going to talk to Carl and Robin. That's it. I see. I have somebody, Jim Mundowski. Jim, you were here. I can't find the card again. Jim, talk to us.
It's Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff from Texas. Right here.
We got you, bud.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, I got a couple of things. I made this is a little piece to sit on my desk that holds my iPhone.
Oh,
a magnet.
Nice. How about that?
Made out of like soft maple that's got some spalting in it. And then a piece of oak, flat oak there for the arm. So hollow. I've got a hole there. I'm going to put some weight in just to keep it a little more secured to the desk. And then I also have, this is kind of a combination piece. It's a turned bell. This is a passive amplifier speaker. So you stick your phone right there and it kind of amplifies the sound coming out.
I like
Well, that's cool.
that. I like that.
So it's kind of oak and some, I think, poplar. This bell is made out of old barnwood that I had. So it's a lot of different types of wood, I think. And then this here is some old growth poplar on the ring. It's really green looking, but
Very nice.
pieces it's just, sits on the desk like that, and I can dock my phone in there and listen to some tunes.
Very nice.
That's what I got.
That's a cool idea.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it. All right. If you got something to show tonight, you like the gallery, go to the chat area and put it in there. I've got something to show. And one of our co-hosts will call up on you. Once they introduce you, start talking. That's the way we got to do it. I had a note here about birdhouse. Oh, we have a birdhouse birdhouse club. Birdhouse Club. Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah. It was created by our master webmaster, and we now have a birdhouse club named after Bob Moffett, Mr. Birdhouse. So if you want to turn one in, show us a birdhouse. Tell you what, show it to us on Thanksgiving Eve. We're going to have a program to where that night we want to see the birdhouse you make. There's no challenge. We don't have any prizes. We don't have any money. But it's a challenge. And if we want to see what you can do, what kind of detail, what kind of design, what you can throw in, natural edge, curves, segmented pieces, unsegmented pieces, finials. It's a funny purchase. Somebody the other day said they can do a really cool looking U-shaped perch to go on it. Cool. I want to see it. The Wednesday before Thanksgiving, we'll be seeing that. It's what we want is creativity. We want you to share your creativity with all these other wood turners, and we'll all be on top.
Could be a birdhouse-a-thon.
There you go.
A birdhouse-a-thon. Okay, we'll get Jerry Lewis to host that for us. Steve Durham's out there. Steve said, pick me, pick me, pick me. So, Steve, you've been picked.
Okay. Let's see if I can do this way. So I've been away from the lathe for about 4 months because of a bad back, and I got back into it the past couple of days, and I wanted to practice some inside out work. So
Oh my goodness.
You don't need a lot of practice, but
it's either a candle holder or maybe a bird condo.
Looks like a good bird condo to me. Need to put some perches on there.
I was pretty
looks
happy.
like a good demo.
I was pretty happy to be back on the lathe.
yeah. I tell you what, you got to bring them back for Thanksgiving. I like that. Put a few perches on it. And
And I could stuff it with suet.
now, you say you'll practice inside out. I don't think you need a lot of practice. That looks pretty good, Steve.
Thank you.
It's a challenging piece with so many variety in it, so much variety in it. Very nice.
It was
and
fun.
Inside out is not difficult to do if you plan it out.
Yeah.
If you don't plan it out,
Did you draw it? Did you draw it first?
Pardon?
Did you draw it first or?
No.
No. Okay.
And fly by the seat of my pants.
Well, it worked.
Well, you did an outstanding job of it.
Thank
Yes,
you.
you did.
So I'm working on more bases, trying to make some bowls and stuff like that, but that's for another time.
well, you
That's
showed
pretty-
off. Really came to the top tonight, sir. Really pretty.
Idea.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, I'm out of here.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. All right, we still got some time, folks. If you want to share your gallery, you got a question or whatever, we're open. This is your club meeting, and we're going to throw it back out to gallery or anybody else right now.
Hey, Eddie,
Go ahead, sir.
why don't we have Kade tell us all about his little adventure over there in England?
Oh
Sounds like
man,
a great idea.
you're going to open that box, really? Kade, I saw you on the board. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
He's hiding in a mask.
Man behind the mask. Yeah, I'm just working on a
Safety Sue
small
is
model,
smiling.
Yep.
small model box that I'm gonna present to a guy because he wants a dog urn. I'm doing a little mini version, just like the size of a ring box first, and then if he likes it, he'll get a bigger, larger size one for a massive. It's a bear hunting dog that is terminally ill, so he wants an urn for that. So I'm doing a little roasted ash box here, but the top has a little inlay, and the inlay is going to be bird's eye maple, and then the bird's eye maple is going to be laser engraved with the dog. The dog's name, a silhouette of a dog, the paw, and the dates. So that'll be, and then it'll be thick enough to hold his dog tags, his favorite ball, maybe a bone or two, sort of a keepsake box for the passing of her dog. So that's in the works. That's why I'm working away, during the meeting, I got to catch up on all my orders and commissions that I had come in while I was away. But yeah, it was a great trip. I had a blast. I flew over to Dublin. So that was a 6.5-hour flight, and then I had a 4-hour layover. And then I flew over to Manchester, which was delayed an hour. So then that flight was an hour. And then Chris Parker, my buddy, picked me up at the airport, and we went back to his place, hung out, had a play on his lathe, and he showed me some different texture techniques, and I showed him some different skew techniques. And then the next day he had a demonstration, so we went there, and Martin Clarkson met us there. And then we came back, Martin Clarkson and I came back to Chris's house, and we hung out, and Chris Parker became a RPT, a registered professional turner. So his son grabbed him a bottle of whiskey. So he's like, oh, we got to celebrate. We got to celebrate. We got to have a drink. And so we had a drink of some Glenfiddich whiskey. And I'm like, oh, no, that's garbage. I brought some Canadian whiskey. You got to try this stuff. So we started going back and forth between the whiskey, and we ended up finishing both bottles between the three of us. So it was quite a fun night. It wasn't too rough. The next morning, surprisingly, we had breakfast, and we took a morning after picture, and we were all pretty chipper. So we had to hang out for a bit because we probably couldn't drive. We would still be drunk until the afternoon. So we waited, and I went back with Martin to his place on the opposite side of England. And I hung out there for a bit, had a play on his lathe, did a couple practice runs of the 2 boxes, the demonstration I was doing for the Lincolnshire Club, because I wanted to have a couple pieces on the table. As well as with my son and family. I probably hadn't turned a box in maybe a month or a month and a half, but it's like riding a bike, so it comes back quick. But so I turned 2 on Martin's lathe, and then that evening we went over to Barry Teague's house, and he made a big dinner, and we had some wine and some brandy, and he showed us all his guitars and turnings, which was pretty cool. And then he had one of the lathes, the model lathe that I would be using at the demonstration. So the following day I went over there and I did a test drive of the lathe I would be using in my demonstrations for the different clubs. And then I turned another box. So I had another piece on the table. When I was at Chris Parker's house, I turned a box as a thank you for his wife for hosting me and having me. I also turned one on Martin's lathe for Martin's wife for hosting and having me. The one I turned on Barry's lathe, he claimed, and he wanted a box, and since it was turned on his lathe. So I had 3 others that I had examples, and then I turned two boxes in the same demo with 2 different finials, 2 different style lids. I'll have to pull some out next meeting to show you the style of the boxes I did. And then that night he drove me back to Manchester because I was meeting up with my Denmark buddy who I met in Ireland in 2016 when I was doing a bit of a tour and demonstrations, and I took a class with Glenn Lucas and Seamus Cassidy while I was there, and met my buddy Anders from Denmark. We were friends ever since. So every time I go over to England for symposiums or demonstrations, we always meet up and hang out and do some touristy activities. So we checked out the old Trafford Mall, which was really cool. The architecture was just spectacular. There was like jade and marble stone everywhere, walkways. They had jade dolphins and sculptures and in water fountains. They had marble angel statues holding candles and stuff. There's some in my pictures that I posted, And that was pretty spectacular shopping center. So I did a little bit of shopping, picked something up for my son and my wife. And then the next day, at the same day, my buddy from Ireland met up with us at the mall, and I met Mark in 2018 when I went over to attend the AWGB symposium, and my wife accompanied me for the first half. So we met Mark in a pub, and he was sort of our personal tour guide, and he took us to a football match, and that was a blast. So we've been friends ever since that. He came to Canada the following year, and then I came back and he met up with us that day. So then after that, we got pretty thirsty with all the shopping. So we went for a bite to eat and a couple pints, then back to the hotel to play some pool and some darts and maybe another pint or two because we got thirsty with all that activity. And then the next day we did something really cool. It was called Manchester Now, Adventure Now Manchester, and they do ATVing, they do air rifle, archery, and axe throwing, and you can also get a fire lunch. So we picked up some steaks and some sausage and some cheese and stuff, brought it with us, and we cooked it on the fire at lunchtime. But the first two activities were archery, and archery was cool because we played different games as a competition. Friendly competition, and I won the majority of those in archery because I'm an avid archer and I hunt with a bow. So then we went over to the rifles, and they had different targets and stages at different distances, and I think the maximum distance was 50 meters. So the first round was pretty easy. It was the king can beer cans and a couple wooden targets on hinges that you had to hit down. And the first person to go through all the stages and then hit the little tiny metal man at the 50-yard line won that round. And then as we went through, the targets got smaller. So eventually they got bullet cases or BB containers or little metal men, and it got more difficult. And then the final round, now there was a bench and there was a bag. So you could rest yourself on the bag for stability, but we would always go back and forth because it's too easy to just stand there and rest on a bag and shoot accurately. So ever so often we would say no bag. So we had to hold the rifle really tight against our shoulder, hold it up and be sturdy as we hit those targets too. And then the final round was a tiny little Lego man, which was made out of chalk. And it was on the 50 meter line. And we had to shoot with no supports, just propped up with our rifle. And first round, I hit it. I practiced quite a bit with my grandfather, taught me how to shoot growing up since I was 8. So I've been shooting and hunting ever since. So I won that round. And we had lunch, and then we did the ATVing, which was pretty fun, a lot of off-road and obstacle courses. And then we did axe throwing, and we would do right-handed, we would do left-handed, we would do both hands throwing at different targets. And then the last round was accuracy, and we had to play a little playing card like we were playing blackjack, and the person who got the most cards at the end of that round won. I got 3, my other buddy got 2, and my other buddy got 1. So I guess I was a bit of a ringer, but it was all in good fun. And so then we hung out with that for a while, and then Friday we went south. I did a demo in Manchester while I was there, and then we went south to the AWGB symposium, and that was a blast because I got to meet all my Zoom friends and Zoom club buddies from Martin's meeting, the AAW meetings, the England and Ireland Zoom meetings. So that was pretty cool. And the demonstrations were top notch. So I took quite a bit of notes and pictures of the process so I could remember. And yeah, it was just, I had a blast. touring and traveling and meeting all my Zoom buddies and colleagues and friends. And some people would just come out of the blue and I didn't know them, but they saw me demonstrate somewhere. So that was pretty cool too. So I had a blast. I made some more connections with tool companies. So I'm going to be talking to them about a couple things and put my hat in the pot for a couple demonstrations next time I go back as well. So all in all, it was great fun. I did miss my wife and son quite a bit near the end. So as soon as I got home and landed, the next day my wife went off on a girls' weekend. So it was just Cash and I for the weekend, and she could go catch up on sleep, and it was a guy's weekend, so we had a lot of fun, and he wasn't too much of a handful for sleep, so she said I got lucky that way. But yeah, all in all, we had a blast. So one of my pieces was selected for the traveling gallery, so that'll be traveling around with the AWGB gallery for 2 years, and it goes to all the different trade shows, and it's for sale. And then I bought a Paul Howard box. It's a 5-tier box. It's Thioburl, maple, and boxwood, and it's 5-threaded container. It's like a spice container. So I saw that and I was eyeballing that all weekend, and I bought that at the auction. So I'll have to show that next weekend as well. But yeah, so I can't wait to go back because I'll be lining up a few more demonstrations. And it was so nice to meet everybody because they offered me a place to stay. They offered me the odd drive here and there. Whereas in 2016, I was backpacking and Ubering and hoteling quite a bit. So it was a little more expensive that time around. But they all got a gift, turned on their lathe. And the ones that didn't, I'm shipping them a gift for hosting me and feeding me, because I always offered them some money or gas money and they don't take it. So, I mean, I'll make you something nice and thoughtful. So that'd be great. I look forward to going back. Any questions, or I don't know how much time we have left.
Ooh, glad you had a good time, buddy.
Thanks.
That sounds like you had a blast.
Yeah, it was great. So, and the pound was in my favor. When I went 2016, the pound to the Canadian dollar was $1.98 Canadian to £1. And now the pound is pretty close on par with the American dollar. So £1 now was $1.50 Canadian. So it was a lot better that way as well. So
all right. Well, good to have you back, Lloyd. Great that you had a good time, really.
Thanks. It's a pleasure to be back. I'm happy to be back. So great to see everybody again.
All right.
Thanks.
And Kay's one of our older members, and he talks about taking care of cash. He's not talking about cash in your pocket. He's talking about the world's smallest wood turner, his son, Cash. And we don't know which one takes care of which one.
Yeah.
I see that Professor Rowe is in the house. Waukeene's in the house. We got a couple other members popping in this evening. If we can help you, you want to chat, you like to show something, now's the chance to do it. We have about a half an hour before I have to pull the plug. So we're looking forward to you, our members, to tell us what you want to talk about doing wood turning. Jim Selby signed off a few moments ago. And until I saw his name, I clean forgot about our ongoing, forever Freedom Pen Project. And if you're unaware of it, you turn a pen and you give it to an active member of our military.
I got that.
And that's what we do. And we have sent thousands. And we're waiting for you to get on board. If you want to know where to send them, we have representatives handling all the services, all 6. Air Force first, Army, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard, and Space Force. We have all those folks covered. So go to our website and you'll find some place to send your pens for Freedom Pens, and send them to the branch you choose. If you can't pick a branch, send them to our master collector, Professor Doug Rowe, and he'll get it to an active troop. He does that for us. So, all right, I saw Waukeene pop in a moment ago. Waukeene, are you in trouble or what?
No, I got something.
All right.
Yeah, we had, wig stands as a project for the club, and I got one turn. What I really enjoy about turning wig stands is the spindle turning you get to do. Just to go crazy with whatever kind of idea you want and test yourself. That's one I've got for a club. But it being October, I had the desire to turn a little pumpkin box, and little lidded pumpkin, just made out of mesquite.
Man, that is cool.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
nice.
Nice. They both look really good, Waukeene.
Yeah, and so I was in the store the other day though, and I got the counting, and I've got 12 divisions here. Most pumpkins only have 10, but I don't guess that matters. But it's odd how you start paying attention to stuff like that, and you want it authentic. Well, last week, Matt was talking about wire burning, and through the years, I've collected a few in drawings and people passing away and stuff, and they've been given to me. And a couple of points I wanted to make. These are hard. These are mostly store-bought, and they're hard to replace the wire on. You can do it. But I like the handle, this type of handle. Then you turn in the lathe, you put a groove in there, you wrap the wire around it, then wrap it around itself, which is, I think, a lot safer. I like that style. And 3 years ago, I was in Fort Worth at their hands-on, and I met master wood turner Corey White. He's, I'm sure y'all familiar with him. He's demoed at SWAT. He's demoed at AAW. He's on Facebook. He does these fabulous root balls that turn into flowers. And he was teaching a class on wood, on wire burning. And he come up with this device where you don't have, not holding handles, that you got a hold of it like that when you burn it. And you want a little bit of slack in here so that you're, really covering some of the wood. So I was messing around this afternoon to show this. And I put a few grooves in here and then burn them. And this is what it looks like when you're got it in the lathe turning. You don't want it straight across because you don't have that, you're just covering a small amount of the wood here to burn. You put it, make it loose, and it's contacting more, makes a better burn. And you just drill a couple holes in here and wire it onto itself. And he had all kind of literature on accidents and safety, and he was going to send that to me, but I didn't get it. But if you're worried about holding these things with a little knobs and stuff, this is a very safe way to do wire burning. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that looks a lot safer, Waukeene. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I've seen guys take a guitar string, as long as the guitar string is, and burn like this, and good night. I don't think they have any idea what could possibly happen.
I watched a guy wrap it around his finger, and I said, "Oh, yeah," I stopped him because it's like.
And Corey, he had all kind of information of people losing their fingers and get slapped in the face with it, and so they really can add to a piece you're doing, and but you got to be safe. You got to protect yourself.
Yeah, that's an excellent point about the slack too. Is you need a lot of the wire in the groove in order to get a good burn.
Yeah. Well, that's what I have tonight.
Thank you, bud. Appreciate it. There are another one of our members coming up with a good tip or trick for you. Something they develop or modify in their own shop. And next week we will be doing tips and tricks right here on Worldwide Woodturners. And we're looking for you to be involved. It's not a click thing. It's not just a few guys or a few girls. It's everybody. Everybody's got a tip or a trick on it. Doug Rose and Professor Rose, pardon me, I got to identify him properly. Professor Rose with us, and he just put his address for receiving Freedom Pens in our chat, and it's also on our website. And I'll remind you, just like Donald from Australia will remind you at the end of the evening, save the chat. It's great information on there. And if you want to be on our contact list, put your information in the chat. It's voluntary, voluntary. We're going to go back to Kade again because Kade says he's got something to show this time. And Kade, what's up?
Hey everyone, I didn't realize we had so much time left, so I went and I grabbed a couple of the boxes of the styles that I turned in my demonstrations. And I grabbed the threaded 5-tier box that I bought at auction, so I can show you guys that. So the first box I turned was this style of a box. It had the pedestal for the finial to give the finial lift and elevation. Now, all aspects of spindle turning and the finial and the lid of the box and the inside lid of the box were all turned with the skew. The shoulder was turned with the skew and the inside was Ellsworth grind bowl gouge. So 2 tools to finish that. And that was the first style box I turned. And then the second style box I did was, so this is like an inlaid lid where the lid goes into the body of the box. And then the other style of box I did was sort of a mortise and tenon, where you have a mortise and a tenon and the lid goes into the box. Now, I had a similar dome shape. I didn't have the antler on this one, but I grabbed this to show the difference. I actually don't have one of those at home right now. So this was just domed, and then I created a finial much like this one that went flat right into the top of the lid. And it was much taller than this one. So this one is probably 3 inches. The finial I turned was probably 5 inches. And it was all done with the skew as well. So a much longer taper and a thinner taper across that 5 inches. So that's the 2 style boxes I demonstrated for those. And then this is the 5-tier box I bought at auction. Now this is playa burl, this is maple, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes, and they're all threaded. Now the threading is with boxwood, okay? So there's one. And then here's the second one with the maple and the boxwood insert with the thoya burl with the boxwood and the maple in between. Nice, easy threaded, just there. And with these, since he's such a engineer, if I took these apart and I couldn't remember which tier went in which position, they will fit in any orientation that I desire. So if I don't like this grain pattern today, I can swap this box for this box for that box, and they will all thread and fit perfectly together as well. So here's the third or the fourth. Again, thoya burl, boxwood, threaded. And then the bottom is, he called it a 5-tier spice box. Now it's far too nice and it's not gonna meet spices. This is my box. I bought a couple of things for my wife. So this will look pretty on my nightstand, and I might put some earrings or some finger rings or different things in this box. So, yeah, I was eyeballing this. I wasn't sure what I would have spent on it, but I won the auction. So, and there's the base. So.
It's a pretty piece, really nice.
Yeah, that is nice. And the fact that it's interchangeable from box to box and it'll still thread in is pretty amazing.
Yeah, a lot of effort in making that.
Yeah, yeah, it was quite a bit of effort. So I was happy to win it. There was a couple I got outbid on. So that one I wasn't going to get outbid on.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. I think it's time to go back to Billy Burt and see what Billy Burt's got going on. Hold on, where'd it go? There he is. There's Billy Burt's with us again. Oh, wait. It's not Billy. I'm sorry. I was going by the picture.
I think you've got it wrong, Ed.
What's up, Billy?
There is a resemblance for sure.
Yeah, there sure is. Yeah. Got the same headset and everything. Thank you, Jim. Good seeing you tonight. And that's right, folks. Nothing is safe here at Worldwide Woodturners. Nothing is safe. We're out to have a little fun and share information and details. That's all it is. And tonight you've seen a couple of great demonstrations. You've seen the results of questions about how you can do this and how you can do that. And most of this stuff will end up in segments on our website. Now, the whole program, the whole meeting is on our website. But if you don't want to sit through 3.5 hours of meeting, our master webmaster, pardon me, he breaks them out and puts them in little segments. So it's there. And he also will use the information you send in to him to share. And he's telling me, it's like the front page belongs to Matt Harbor. Really. We have 4 or 5 things online right now for Matt Harbor, and we're looking for some competition for Matt. So we invite you to send it in. Let us use it. Neil just checked out. Good night, Neil. It was good having you with us. And Jim said he hadn't met Billy Burt until last year. He thought he was standing in front of the mirror at SWAT. All right. Terry's iPad's with us. Terry, talk to us, sir. This is Terry. Terry's going to be, come on, Terry. Where are you? Don't push any buttons, Terry. Just talk. Terry? Terry's on his iPad. There he is.
There he is.
All right. Now, Terry, you're on. You might be muted, Terry.
Yeah, you're
Go
muted,
ahead.
Terry.
You're muted, Terry.
Hey, Terry.
You're still muted.
I'm from the government. I'm here to help. I just wanted to let you know you're still muted.
Did I get it?
There we can hear you.
Now we got you.
Did I get it?
Yeah, we
That's
got
it.
you.
I don't know why it wouldn't let me unmute it. I had to beat it. Okay. Well,
See?
I kind of got ahead of the game here a little bit. And I think I'm you got me?
Got you.
You do.
You're here.
Okay. I got ahead of the game a little bit here and kind of got into the birdhouse thing. I guess I'll just go ahead and do the birdhouse. Why is not, there we go. Let's see if I can get them so that they're showing them. No, maybe I better pick up the iPad. Let's see if I can hold it. There, kinda. I put them on an earring stand so I could kind of bring them up, get my finger out in front of the thing. So I could kind of bring them around. You can see them pretty good, I think.
Yeah, those are nice.
Yeah, those are nice.
Those are
They're not,
like birdhouse
they're not
condos.
showing up
Yeah.
too good. Let me bring one around so I can see it. Now I'm all confused here. I thought they would show up better. But anyway.
I think we'll give
I
you a
got
birdhouse
5 of
badge.
those, and they're all different. I'm trying to get them. I thought I would be able to show them pretty easy on that stand, but they don't come out too bad, but they're
Looks
not lighted
great, Terry.
very well.
I think
Turn
we're gonna
them
have to give
around.
you a birdhouse badge.
This one here, down here, and I live down near the water on the coast in Texas here, and real estate's gone crazy. So trying to build houses and affordable income is pretty bad. So I decided that I'd build a duplex. But as usual, I got ahead of myself and messed it up. I made it out of 50-50 mesquite and a piece of ash. And my intention was
was to flip the roof so they would have a different character on both sides with a different roof line. Well, when I went to glue it together, I got paying so close attention to make sure I got the lines lined up that I forgot to flip it.
I guess that means you'll have to build another one.
Oops. So anyway, that's how that worked out. And then if it looks a little stubby, it's because I made a funnel out of the first half. But I got another blank. I might try it again.
I like what
And
Bob
then-
said. With those all hang on that earring hanger, it's a birdhouse condo.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's our housing. And then this
You
one's
got
a
housing
table model.
development there.
You see it? This one's a table model. It's got a little pedestal on it so you can sit on the table.
That's cool.
Now, if you built that many, have
there.
you gotten your contractor's license?
I think we
So
need a
that's
challenge to make a Martin house.
So anyway, I'm thinking that that's pretty much the end of my birdhouses for a while.
Now, did you set up an HOA for these?
No! Hose are the
So
dearth
anyway,
of
that's what we
things.
have. And I think I got an order for a couple more earring stands out of the deal, so I might have to go back to that.
Nice earring stand too, by the way.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Thank you, Terry.
I
That's
demoed
great.
those at the club.
Those are nice.
Back. They're pretty
I loved all
popular.
the, that's cute.
I like the one that stands up like that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
the little
think that's
table
I think
one.
that's a great idea.
Yeah. Something a little different. Now
Is
I
that
need to
the
work on some
antisocial
finials.
one?
I didn't make any finials on them. So
They're
that's
all
what I got,
nice.
guys.
Is that one that stands up, fall under the HOA guidelines?
Bob, you're so bad.
No hose, no hose.
Just
All
so you know,
right.
the HOA.
Homeowners
the professors
Association.
All right. We have that birdhouse challenge the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. We'd like to see what you turn. I mean, Terry can bring his in. Those are beautiful. And the earring stand's a great idea. Bob, how come you hadn't come up with that?
I don't know. My HOA wouldn't allow that.
Yeah, looking at the shelving unit behind Bob, he hasn't had time yet.
Yeah.
We all have our own little quirks on how we do quirks. We all have our certain ways of doing things. The birdhouse thing, as I said earlier, is going to be a fun way to see what your art is, and not only your art, how ingenious you are, what you can turn and how. I mean, I want to see what Kade Bolger will do with his skew. Really, I'll throw the challenge out. Come on, Kade, let's see what you do on the skewed cut birdhouse. That'll be fun. In fact, let Dane know we might have to do a demo on that one. But we're always looking for input, directions, decorations, whatever you can do to improve your work and how you do it. And if you've seen tonight, Billy Burt's one of our older members in membership, which we really don't keep track of, but he's been around a while. But Billy did our demo tonight, but we also had input from 5 or 6 other members that showed us what they've done, how they've created it, how you could do this, how you could do that. That's where you come in, really. That's where you come into play, because you probably have one of those ideas and you can come up with it and show us. And if you weren't about doing a demonstration and cameras and all that stuff, Doug's been doing demonstrations for us. He does them on YouTube, and he uses his iPhone to tape and edit his demonstrations. His iPhone. So if you'd like to do a little demonstration, even if it's a brief one, let us know. And if it's going to be just on your iPhone, it's fine, or your iPad, or your computer, and any system you have, we'll take it. Any other input tonight? Otherwise, we're going to wrap it up. Oh, come on.
Don't
You're
forget to
wood
save the
turners.
chat.
Go ahead, Bob.
Don't forget to save the chat.
See, wait. We subcontract that out to
You're
Donald.
taking my job off.
I'm just making sure he doesn't forget.
Yeah.
Well, the union's gonna have fun with you.
Yeah. The international part of a union, because Donald's in Australia.
Bob,
Well, he's saving it from down under.
Yeah. Bob,
I was
did you
wondering-
learn anything?
Who's that? Say again, Susan?
I said, did Bob Moffett turn anything this week?
No, well, everything I had, I took to a gallery, so I didn't have anything this week.
All right. Well, glad that's working out for you. I mean, you can't show something and you're selling it all. That's pretty good for you.
That works.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
you're
I didn't say I was selling it all. I said I took it to the gallery.
That HOA held them back. See that, folks?
That's right.
Hey, Eddie,
Yes, sir. Hey, Randall.
we have something to show. It is not turning related, however. I found this on Amazon. And basically what it is it works with your cell phone, and it's a remote control for the cell phone. So you can go ahead, take this, I need to turn it on. And
Yep, I saw it.
you can also start a video recording with it.
That's cool.
So
that
and
is
it's
cool.
only like $10 for a mount and the remote. They're on Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got one that works on your iPad. It works by Bluetooth.
Yeah.
I did learn that if you have it turned on or activated in your iPad, you can't talk to your cell phone with the same one. You have to only have one device turned on. It won't do multiple devices. And ask me how long it took me to find that one day.
I bought a small, I'm gonna call it spider leg for anything else, because you can bend the legs however you want. It's only about 8 inches tall, but I bought it for my phone and it came with one of those remotes.
Yeah, and they do come in handy.
Nifty thing we come up with here. Nifty. And if you want to share something like that, please do so. Somebody on the member one night showed us a very flexible gooseneck that had a mount to go on to hold your cell phone. And I just had to have it. I bought it. And a couple of days ago, one of my turning buddies kind of confiscated it from me. Kind of confiscated. He took it. That's all there is to it. Because he does his on iPhones. And with this really wild gooseneck, a lot of flexibility, 30-something inch neck, he can mount it on his headstock, flex it around, and get close-ups on his work. And he's doing that right now. It's pretty awesome. So you can do it. And if we have information we can share with you, we'd like to get it. We have some background right now, so I'm going to go through and say again, Dane, Kade? Was that
Sure, I
you?
was talking and I wasn't muted because I guess there was lay sound earlier. I thought I was muted, so sorry about that. But I muted myself, then I started trying to talk. So now I'm unmuted and I can talk. But I showed this little goose arm thing probably a year or so ago. And it's actually mounted to the ceiling above my lathe. And I did a demo for the club one time because I think something came up, so I just jumped in. And I didn't have my camera set up, so I threw my cell phone in this. And this is what Dane bought right after I showed him. And it's actually mounted to my ceiling right here. And it's on a flexible shaft that comes right down to my lathe. So that works great for doing like TikToks or YouTube videos or whatnot on a flexible arm shaft here. And I can put it over here over my tailstock. I can put it over top of the turning. And it's a pretty robust cord. So I bought two. I bought one for my shop for just doing TikToks or small little videos, or if I needed to jump in on the fly. But I also bought one for my wife because sometimes I would go to bed and she would be asleep with her phone in her hand. So this way I mounted one to the bed frame and it comes up and it holds her phone for her. So if she falls asleep, her phone doesn't fall, or if it's not in her hand and she's sleeping, or it doesn't drop on her and scare her and wake her up. So they're relatively inexpensive. I got them on Amazon. I think they were maybe 15 bucks each or 20 bucks each. So.
And now remember that we saw it from Dane. Now remember who
Kade,
brought who used
how do those hold the phone?
Yeah, I showed this, and then Dane picked one up for his demo. So in order to hold my phone, okay, perfect. I got this scrap piece of plywood, which
Nice
is
phone.
roughly the shape of a phone. So here I have a flex shaft, and this can move in any direction, back, forwards, upright. It can go this way, so I get an overhead view. And your phone just pops right into these teeth here.
Oh, wow, it opens that far.
Just like so. And then you can manipulate and move it so your phone is at whatever position. So there would be like an overhead view, tailstock view of what I'm turning currently here for my inlay.
That's pretty cool.
Or I could bring it back here like this. And now we can see it's more like a tailstock view, and it's actually viewing my headstock just like so.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
cool.
great because I can move it down here, I can bring it up here and have it just like so, or wherever I need it. I could mount it to my lathe as well, and I could have the arm come out here, and I would have a frontal tailstock view as well. So, I mean, you can also use your iPads, your tablets, your phones, all in the same device. So it's quite handy because you can also pair those devices to OBS if you do demonstrations or YouTubes or whatever as well. So then you stream all the cameras into different scenes, then you can switch between the different scenes to get all your different camera angles, like a full production.
Now you can also, Kade, you can also do that through Zoom. You can select your video input and you can have multiple video inputs. And when you select is what's going to pick up on it, and you don't have to change your audio. And that's in a Zoom program, but I understand the OBS. When I get a stronger bandwidth, I'm going to go back to OBS because I really like the versatility of that free system. It's another one of those ways. And we got all those tips and hints right here on worldwidewoodturners.org.
And when
we had a
when I'm not using it, I actually just put it up and out of the way, and it sits right up against my ceiling there. Actually, here I'm trying to flip my, see? So it just folds up and it hangs out right up there.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna come down and slap me or hit me while I'm turning. It's well out of the way until I need it. So,
all right. Somebody says, Tim, the link you shared is for a 12-inch gooseneck. There are longer ones. Yeah. The one my friend confiscated, it was about 36 inches long. And that's what it was in our chat because Dane showed it and then put the information in our chat. And that's where you go. You go to our chat when you want to share something with us. And the chat is wide open, folks, wide open. if you have something to show, a demonstration that's coming up, a art show, whatever, you can put all that information in our chat. And that's why we don't limit what goes in there, right? Unless we really have to. We don't, because it's information. And as I said earlier, and a lot of folks, Bill even said earlier, we're here to share. That's it. Well, I'm going to call it an evening, folks.
Wait, don't, Eddie, don't. There's a gentleman online who said, and his name is Roger Woolham from Quijota, Missouri. Would I file showing segmented ring design be worth sending to you?
I answered that one, Sue.
Oh, I didn't.
I PM'd him back. Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Okie doke.
Yeah, and thank you, Sue. But I didn't realize he put that. I thought it was a PM coming to me. That's why I PM'd them back. But we spoke. Any information you have regarding a technique, design, style, or anything else, we share, and we want to be there. You know, you make my week. You really do. Each and every one of y'all I consider to be a dear friend, and I like sitting on the tailgate on Wednesday evenings and sharing stories, lies, tips, tricks, and all that. So if you would, come back next week and bring a friend. We're always out to meet new people. Until then, I'm Captain Eddie Castellan for worldwidewoodturners.org. Good night. Start making some shavings.
Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Night,
everyone.
everybody.
Night, all.
Eddie.
Night, everyone.
Good
Take
night.
care.
Be
Y'all have a
safe.
good
Night,
one.
Eddie.
See you.
Everybody have a great week and stay safe.
Okay, one more time.
Save the chat.
Good night, Eddie.
Good night.
See you later, brother.